Hello there, I'm Igu Bagus Rembawa, number 032 of Class B. Here are some of my friends of Group B1. The first is Santos Apriandi Adotukan, number 20085610002. The second we have Iketutku Oning Pusparama, number 20085611017. The next we have me, Igu Bagus Rembawa, number 200856032. Second to last, we have Kadek Adipriana, number 20085610047. And lastly, we have Ana Agung Hendra Widistana Tusan, number 20085610102. I am here to explain the definition of gerunds as well as how they are made. First off, meaning and role of gerund. A gerund is a verb in its present participle form. That is, it is a verb that is added with an ing behind it. To make a present participle form of verbs, you just need to add the ing at the end of it, except some words that, for certain words that ends with e, erase the e and then add the ing. If it ends with ie, replace the ie with y and add the ing. If it ends with a consonant letter, after a consonant and vowel letters, double up the last consonant and add the ing. A gerund functions as a noun that names the activity rather than the person doing the thing. Any action verb can be made into a gerund. For example, I imagine drinking soda in the beach. Drinking here is a gerund that functions as a noun, and it forms from the present participle form of drink. Next up, there are 4 ways to use a gerund. The first is to use a gerund after a preposition. For example, is anyone interested in playing tennis? And I'm thinking of studying English in Pare. Here, in is anyone is interested in playing tennis is a gerund, while studying in I'm thinking of studying English in Pare is the gerund. Next, we can use the gerund as a subject or object of a verb. For example, traveling abroad can be exhausting as a subject. Here the gerund is traveling and it is used as a subject. And next, he enjoys sleeping on the sofa. And here, sleeping is the gerund and it is used as the object. Next up, we can also use a gerund after expressions such as it's no good, it's not worth it, it's no use, it's a waste of time, spend time, can't help. For example, it's no use worrying about it, and do you think this book is worth reading? Here, worrying and reading is the gerund of both sentences. And lastly, we can use a gerund as a subject complement. A subject complement is a word or phrase that follows a linking verb and identifies or describes a subject. For example, his bad habit is talking bad about someone. Here, talking is the gerund and it is referring to the bad habit. And second, my favorite activity is reading comic. And here the gerund is reading and it refers to the favorite activity. Alright, then the next part will be described by my colleagues.
Hi, my name is Gerund and Pusparama, name 017. I am from Informatic Engineering Study Program in Udayana University. Today, I want to describe about infinitive. What is infinitive? Infinitive is a verb form that acts as other part of speech in a sentence. It is formed with to plus base form of the verb with function as noun to infinitive. For the example, I agreed to move from this house. To move here is to infinitive. Okay, there are 5 rules we can use to know when to use the infinitive. First, use to infinitive to say why you do something. For the example, I was training 2 hours a day to get fit, and I will ask my teacher to approve my score. Second, use to infinitive to say why something exists. For the example, there are doctors and nurses to care for the sick, and there are schools to teach many students. Next, use to infinitive as subject or object. For the example as subject is to study in Japan is my dream. And for the example as object is my passion is to be teacher. Next, use to infinitive after to and enough to. For the example, she was clever enough to choose the answer, and the parcel was too big to send by post. Last, use to infinitive after the adjective, such as afraid, chief, deleted, difficult, disappointed, easy to, essential, expensive, glad, happy, hard, interesting, impossible, kind, pleased, possible, safe, sorry, surprise, and relief too. For the example, I was glad to see my old friend in town yesterday, and it is very kind of you to take me to the station.
Okay, my name is Ana Agung Hendra Widastana Tusan. I will introduce when to use gerund and infinitive. Okay, use gerund after this verb. Example, I enjoy traveling. Example 2, he admit stealing the necklace. Example 3, I avoid buying things wrapped in plastic. Verbs followed by preposition and gerund. Example, we concentrate on doing well. Example 2, Arisa sucks in the approving her proposal. Can stand dislike, imagine involve, mind, miss, put off, risk. The verb can be used with a new subject before the gerund. If the new subject form is pronoun, it is the object from me, him, her, us, them. Example, we just called imagine Gary singing in public. Okay, Gary is a new subject located before gerund singing. Example 2, do you mean me bang her while you her working? Example 3, I don't when risk him losing his job. Okay, number 2, when to use infinitive. Use to infinitive after dash verb plus to infinitive. Example, I went to speak to manager. Example 2, she's learning to play the piano. Example 3, he offered to help us wash up. There is a condition that some verb plus the to infinitive always have an object transitive verb. The verbs such as dare, encourage, force, invite, order, persuade, remind, touch, tell, warn. Example, her father taught her to play the piano. Example 2, my sister invited her friend to come to the house for her assignment. And there is a condition that some verbs sometimes have an object. The verbs such as when, ask, expect, beg, help, intend. Example, we went to be teacher without object. Example 2. We went you to be teacher with object. Verbs followed by object and infinitive. Example. Everyone expected her to win. Example 2. My mother asked my brother to buy snack.
Hello, my name is Krisantus Aprindia Dutukan and my number is 002. There are some verbs that can be used both gerund and infinitive and has small difference, even no difference in meaning. And the first, no difference in meaning. Such verb as began, can bear, continue, purpose, start have no difference in meaning while followed by gerund or to infinitive. Example, continue adding the water and continue add the water have the same meaning. It began raining and it began to rain have the same meaning. Next, small difference in meaning. Such verbs as hate, like, love, prefer have small difference in meaning while followed by gerund or to infinitive. Difference between using gerund and to infinitive while using this verb. Gerund is used to impassive verb or the process itself. Infinitive is used to impassive the preference or the result or the action. Example. Number 1, example gerund. I like cooking the Indian food. Emphasis cooking itself and enjoyment of it. She hates cleaning her room. Impassive cleaning itself and no enjoyment of it. Next, example infinitive. Number 1, I like to cook Indian food morning and Asian food in the lunchtime. Impassive preference to cook Indian food in the morning than cook Asian food. Number 2, she hates to clean her room because it will be tiresome. Impassive, the result to be tiresome to clean it.
Let me introduce myself. My name is Kade Adipriana, with last 3 digit is 047. In here, I will continue my friend explanation that explain about some verb that can be used both gerund and to infinitive and have small difference, even no different. Here, I will explain about some verb that can be used both gerund and to infinitive but have a different meaning. For the explanation, such verb as forget, remember, stop, try can be used both gerund and to infinitive but have a different meaning. For the explanation, gerund is used to think about action in the past and to infinitive is used to think that must do action in the future. For the example, I have 2 examples. The first example, I use verb remember and have 2 sentences that the first sentence using gerund and the second sentence using to infinitive. The first sentence is I remember locking the door. It means he had remembered to lock the door in the past. The second sentence is I remember to lock the door. It means he remembered to lock the door in the future. The second example, I use verb forget and have 2 sentences, and the first sentence using gerund and the second sentence using to infinitive. The first sentence is I forget saying that fact. It means he has to say that fact but forget has been saying it. The second sentence is I forget to say that fact. It means he forget to say the fact and will say it in the future. Gerund and to infinitive have the negative form. both gerund and to infinitive can be made a negative form by adding not before them. The pattern you can see the below. The gerund, the pattern is subject plus verb plus not plus verb ing, and infinitive, the pattern is subject plus verb plus not plus to verb 1. For the example, I have two sentences here. The first sentence is he admit to not stealing the necklace, and the second sentence is I want not to speak to the manager. For all explanation with me and my friend, we got a conclusion. The conclusion is both gerund and to infinitive have some function as a noun that names an activity rather than a person or thing that formed by a verb, and also can be used as a subject, but they have its role and have their own rules, which can be formed with either gerund or infinitive. That's all for our group. If there are the mistakes, please forgive, and thank you for your attention.